to order. Roll call.
Mayor Byron Nolan,
Tardy. I said tardy.
en route. Councilwoman Rutledge,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Stephen Chisholm, en route. Councilman Bishop, excused. Councilwoman Scott,
Present.
Councilwoman Howard,
Here.
Councilwoman Richardson.
Here.
Councilwoman Howard, you do have a quorum.
Okay, on the approval of agenda, we will not be voting on anything, so, the two gentlemen, the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, may be en route, so, we're gonna start the meeting in order. Okay, approval of agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay, there's been a move and a second. Any discussions on this? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Okay, city clerk. Okay, discussion of action. Darren Carrington, you have the floor. Treasurer.
I think you're it's on your phone.
Today is Monday, okay?
Okay. Right, wrong phone. Bad phone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, want to thank council for meeting again on this. I guess is our third session for the FY27 budget. We want to. I think we will be completing all the funds this evening. We're going to start off with our two road funds, Fund 202, which is our major streets, and Fund 203, which is our local streets. That's the information that you have in front of you. I'm going to turn it over to our DPS director, Mr. Bivens. He'll kind of walk through not so much the numbers, but kind of what the numbers reflect in terms of the activities that we're projecting for next fiscal year. So I'll let Mr. Bivens take over at this point.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Councilwoman Howard.
Thank you.
You in the audience and the audience here. I'm just gonna give you a brief high-level overlay of both departments. I'll start with the major roads. So major roads in the city of Inkster consist of Avondale, John Daly, Beach Daly, Inkster Road, Middlebelt, Carlisle, Henry Ruff, Harrison. So we consider those major roads, and when we say major roads, they lead to other cities. They're just not within the boundaries of the city of Inkster. And Cherry Hill, half of Cherry Hill belongs to the city of Inkster and Dearborn Heights, which is from Inkster Road to Beach Daly. That half belongs to us. The other half belongs to Wayne County. So in this budget, we use road funds for street sweeping. We use it for doing major repairs on major roads. So the project we have upcoming in FY27, as we all know, is Cherry Hill, from Inkster Road to Beach Daly, which we share with Dearborn Heights. That is a joint project. We got funding from the feds in excess of $2.7 million, which will be split between us and Dearborn Heights. Our portion of that is $1.6 million that we will have to pay.
It's what?
$1.6 million and some change that we will have to pay. Of that $1.6 million, $1 million will come back to us. So we actually on the hook for $600,000. And that's from Inkster Road at Cherry Hill to Beach Daly. This project is going from Inkster Road to Gully, which Gully extends over into Beach Daly. We have another project that we're anticipating getting funding for that we filled out the application back in April. That's for Avondale Phase 1, 2, 2 and 3. We hope to hear from the feds, and if we get that funding, this project will commence in FY29.
Wow.
Because we're waiting on the funding from the feds. We put in, we were assisted by some, what was the name of the company here? Well, it was recommended to us by MDOT, right? Yes. And it was recommended to us by MDOT, and it was in Michigan. I can't call the name right now, but they assisted us in putting this application together.
Okay.
It was a very nice application, and if we get approved, I will share it all with you. Now, for local roads. And in each one of my road departments, I have one full-time employee. That's to cover snow removal, cold patching, anything we do in the roads that's outside of water department. So you will see that at each budget item, we have one employee in there to cover those areas. Because I can't pay people out of water for doing road work.
Okay.
In local roads, we have no projects for FY '27. Because all the funding we have will be geared towards Cherry Hill. So we will, as far as, we will continue to do street sweeping. We will continue to do cold patching, but we just don't have a major project in here for FY '27. Once the revenues are built back up and funding, we will look at road work to be done on local roads. As you all know, we have potholes everywhere.
Right.
And we will be addressing the most critical roads. I need to say that again. We address the most critical road. So every year, when I sit down with this budget, I put it together, me and Carrie, then we have a sit down with the mayor and Darren. And we go over 5 to 6 year plan, 5 to 10 year plan, what we project and what we see in the road department. We do a PASER study every 3 years, which rates our roads. 1 through 4 or 1 through 5? 1 through 4? 1 through 10. Well, 1 being the worst. Well, 1 being the roads. We're in between 1 and 4.
What quarter?
PASER. Yep. Well, my engineer department goes out and they evaluate each road in the city of Inkster. We're in between the numbers of 1 and 4. So our roads are in pretty bad shape, you know, just to keep it, simple. So as we generate revenue through the gas tax and the money comes in, we sit down and we put a list together, a wish list. Then we get evaluated. We go over that with the mayor and he says nay or yay. Okay. So what we're doing. So we have no money for FY '27, as I stated before. But we will be doing the miscellaneous stuff like street sweeping, snow plowing, and cold patching. Is there any questions?
Just one, if I'm.
Yes, ma'am.
You said that Harrison was considered a major road.
Yes.
Why so bad? If it's
Because
major.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Mayor Nolan's first term, we budgeted Harrison for about $5 million.
Okay.
That was infrastructure and road.
Okay.
It's 2026. Harrison will probably cost me a little over $22 million to be done.
Oh, wow.
That's infrastructure and road. As costs increase, you know, so I've sent requests to Lansing that claim it as a historical road. Haven't heard back. I've tried to get funding for that road on every avenue out there. Me and Carrie, we always looking for funding. Anytime we talk about a road project, Harrison is the first road that comes to mind. Because I know well, Avondale used to be the worst road, but now Harrison is. And I know that. I try to figure out ways of trying to even minimize it and do a little at a time, but that would be wasting city money. Because that road is that bad. It's undermined. And there's no base under that road, so it's just a pure road. Wow. There's no base. So it would have to all come up. All the water mains got to be replaced, storm, sanitary sewer, and the road. Wow. You know, so trust me, it's always on my radar.
So we can't do temporary patching. I mean,
No,
because there's
ma'am.
certain.
Because when you don't want to take good money and put it to bad, you know, because even if I did a temporary road, you're still looking at a couple $1 million.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Wait, real fast.
Yes, ma'am.
So is like repaving like the dirt roads that we've already torn up in the budget, or is it for like last year's budget? Like, will they be
You talking about the
paved?
project roads, they're,
Yes,
they're,
yeah.
they're in the budget.
They are in the
Those
budget.
are part of the FRF loans and, ARPA money we got. So
Okay.
those roads, because we're putting in water main and sewer,
Right.
the road was including that, because we
Okay.
tore it up, so they will be replaced.
Perfect.
As you saw, part of John Daly get replaced, or half of John Daly, because we tore it up. These roads, so Carlisle will be replaced. You see Princeton getting replaced, so those roads will be replaced.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that money's accounted for.
Okay. Nothing further.
No more questions for me? Thank you.
You welcome.
So are we all set on 202 and 203?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Both are en route.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so what we have now is Fund 208, which is our Parks and Rec Fund. That should be a one-pager, two-sided, one-page document. I'm sorry.
He in the back. Can I go and get him? Because he said he wanted to be in here when that.
Hey, Darren, can I ask you a question on 202? Under the grants, the state grants? So you didn't put anything in there because we're still waiting for, is that state share revenue we waiting on, the state? from the state?
State grants are not the shared revenue. Those are, we generally put specific grants that are
Okay.
in that category. I don't know if Jerome or Carrie, if we are expecting any specific grants for the road funds for next year,
One for Cherry Hill.
just for Cherry
Just the
Hill.
one for Cherry Hill? Okay, all right.
And excuse me, you'll see that book, once the project is complete and we actually capture the revenue. We don't put, well, in speaking with the treasurer and discussing this, we don't want to put projected revenue in there till we capture it. And we won't
that's a
capture
good
that
idea.
revenue until the end.
Okay, all right, thank you. Services.
The professional goes somewhere.
That's what they just putting it up on there.
Okay.
Gina, who we waiting for? Who we waiting for?
Clint, he wanted to be in on this part. He walked his people for his meeting out, and he's coming right back through
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. I held the meeting up for you.
Okay, so we are covering Fund 208, which is our Parks and Rec Fund. As a reminder, this fund is primarily funded first and foremost through the property tax millage. Apologize, I was supposed to check the numbers. I can't recall the exact numbers, but that millage is expiring this summer. It was, I believe, a 10-year millage initially. When we do the July tax bill, that will be the last year that we're authorized to assess that millage. We are planning to, and remind me, clerk, bring the language, are we bringing that next week to
Yes.
council? So the administration is looking to renew both the recreation millage and the senior millage, which is also expiring this year. So we have the ability to assess it for July, which will cover FY27. But after that, there's no authority for the millage. The plan is to bring that for November, put that up for renewal in front of the voters with the expectation that if it's passed, that will keep funding in place for not the fiscal year that we're heading into, but then we'd be looking at FY28, which would start a year from July 1, if you guys follow what I'm saying with all that. Okay. And so as I said, so both the Parks and Rec millage and both the senior Commission on Aging, the senior millage, are expiring. We've got one more year to collect those funds, and that's what you see here, along with the revenues that the department, the fund generates primarily through the recreation center. Those are going to be our two main sources of funding. Additionally, we have a number of grants that I think we talked about those on our first day. Those grants are not captured here. Those grants flow through the general fund. That work is done on behalf of the recreation center or the senior center, but they do not flow through the Parks and Rec fund. Those are captured within the general fund. And so just working our way down, we've got on the far right column, we've got the property taxes, which again is generated solely from the millage. Then we get into the revenues that are coming from the department. This is going to primarily be, the largest is going to be we got two things. One is the rentals for the rec center. And then secondly is going to be lease revenues from one Detroit credit union. So those revenues are reflected there. We're showing, and I do want to speak to the building rentals. Last year, the prior year compared to this year, we're trending about half of what we had projected. We have been right around $75,000 for the last few years because of all the work that's been going on there. We've really not been able to utilize the building, and Clint can probably speak to that fact. But it has had an impact on the ability for the city to rent those spaces as we had in the past. It's impacts revenue, but we're not talking about a large amount of money when we compare to the large amount of work that's getting done there and how badly that work is needed. So, we've taken what I would consider to be somewhat of a conservative number for building rentals, just at $50,000. I don't think we're going to get to that number for this fiscal year. I think depending upon how everything shakes out, we could well exceed that number, get closer to where we have been historically. But again, I think we're looking at a temporary situation where the rentals have been down just due to interruptions tied to all the construction and everything going on over there. But we expect that that's going to be ending in the early part of the next fiscal year. The roof has been replaced. We got to get the HVAC completed. We're doing some flooring work and painting, and all those things are expected to get done in the next, I would say, 60 to 90 days is kind of our timeline with that. Moving on to, any questions there on the revenue side?
Are we doing anything to increase revenue this year, besides rental, or just change anything up? It can be no. I just was wondering.
So one of the things I was considering is just going up on some of the prices for rendering space and different things inside the rec center to get kind of more competitive with surrounding rec centers and different halls that rent space. Because we're extremely low compared to the others in the area.
I agree. Thank you.
Question
Yes.
before we moved on. When you talked about renovating the building, are you upgrading the electrical system?
Right now, we just had Fairfax in the building. They upgraded the electrical. They've replaced old electrical panels upstairs in the control room, and that's mainly tied to the new HVAC system. So that's going on, and we do have Fairfax Electric also looking at some other things that we need that need attention, electrical boxes and things like that.
Okay, because on one side of the building, I noticed when it was used, they couldn't do plug-ins. They couldn't use one side of it.
Yeah, those outlets were not operational. So yeah, that's one of the things I have them looking at
Okay,
is how we can get those things connected. So it may take more work and more replacing of other electrical boxes inside of the rec center to get that back working. So that is something that I took to Jerome. He's okayed the companies to come in and do the work, to do the investigation, what's going on, and to do the work that's necessary. So he's provided that with them. They've given him invoices. He's paid them, so they're working right now. Okay, solving those problems.
Does that include the gym? Because I heard most outlets in the gym didn't work.
Yeah, so it's an entire building.
Okay.
well, thank you.
Anything else on the revenue side for Parks and Rec? So we'll move on to the appropriations. On appropriations, we've got some work for professional consultant. We do a couple things there. One is our grass cutting for parks and for the rec center are captured there. Then we have our salaries, and we're looking to really up the amount of staffing that we have there. That's one of the key things that we're focusing in on. We're trying to really, upgrade the overall operations at the recreation center, not only in terms of the physical condition, but also from staffing. Kind of the objective is for us to have 2 people, I believe it is, Clint. We want to have 2 staffers there, anytime the center's open. So in addition to the director, we've got assistant director, and then we have some part-time employees or less than full-time employees. So one of them, I think we're projecting out at about 75% time, 60 to 75%, and then the others will be about 0.5 FTE. So they'll be more part-time. But again, these expenses are going to be higher, primarily because we're going to be employing more of the part-time employees. We'll still have the same 2 full-time employees, but we're looking to have more part-time employees and more hours dedicated towards that. So that's why we have a projected increase in that particular category. You see, we had about $175,000 from last year. Next year, we're looking to appropriate just a little bit over $200,000. So the next few categories are really things that are just kind of fringes and the like for the employees and salaries. Then we've got the office supplies and operating supplies. We've got a small amount in there for special events. We have building maintenance supplies. The utilities is another major category. That's going to primarily be our gas and electric tied to the building. Is that water too? Yeah, and it would also include water. Correct. Yep, those are going to be our 3 main things there. Then next we have building maintenance. We're projecting $110,000, but one thing to keep in mind, included in that, we have two things that we've kind of identified. One is the HVAC repairs, and then the other thing is elevator repairs. And both of those systems are going to be brand new during the fiscal year, so we could see a decline in those areas. Even though we're keeping the number the same, could be offset because, as I said, we're trying to really take a look at increasing the overall operations over there and providing support for the staff, the director and assistant director and the staff. So we do have a RFP that's currently out for janitorial services over there, and we may very well end up spending more money on that. So some of the savings that we may get could be offset from paying more to clean the building, but we're going to end up with a better product. So we're keeping that number the same for right now. We'll kind of take a look at that as we go through the year.
Keep in mind the flower beds too. We're gonna take out the 2 flower beds in the front, the ones that are broken. We're gonna remove those and either concrete over that or create something where you can put a flower pot or something else there, but it's not gonna be like what it is now. It's not gonna be a big cinder block structure. Those look horrible. I mean, that's the first thing you see when you walk in.
And we're working on that now.
Yeah. So we're gonna get those removed. So that might be, we may have to use a little bit of that money for that. And then the next goal is we're thinking about having a competition. We looked at trying to hire artists to do a mural. It got to be a little expensive. We got through, was it a $50,000 quota? It was something huge. Yeah. So we're thinking about, somebody gave me an idea of making a competition. Some up and coming mural artists, because Detroit looks wonderful with the murals. They got some of those periods down there. Make it a competition. Whoever wins the competition gets to do it. But and we'll pay them something, but it won't be $50,000.
Right.
Where are you looking to put the mural?
I was thinking that doodle brown awning, I hate with a passion. So in my mind, that goes, I hate it.
Which one?
In the front. That is horrible. It looks like,
Someone to put like a sunrise or something?
I don't care what it is, but it can't be doodle brown.
That's the name of it.
Just paint the awning.
That may end up being what we're doing. But we need something cool, because, that's our heartbeat of the center, so it needs to be kind of cool.
A cool color.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be mural, but it has to be cool.
What happened to the guy who painted the first one
The guy, which one?
on Inkster and Michigan Avenue?
No, that was Sweet Bee hired that person. Yeah, that was a private thing. They're still. I know that person's name. I think they're from Detroit.
It's not on Sweet Bee.
Which one you talking?
It's on the side of their building.
Yeah, they own the whole building.
That's on Sweet Bee?
Yeah.
I just think it'd be cool to have, I think it'd be cool to engage
They own that whole.
the community.
they own
I think
Black,
like that's been our goal, is just to engage the community and use the talent that we have. Because we know we have it. We just
gotta
have to
bring
give
it
them an
out.
opportunity, yes, exactly,
find
to do it. Exactly.
You never seen me color.
Yeah, we don't want
You don't want me up on the awning. It's gonna be
we don't
bad.
want you to color. You're good. But I do like the idea of like the different murals, like even just around the rec center. So
Yeah, we got some artists in the community. That's a big project though. That's
yeah,
You know.
for sure. Okay. I do have a couple questions. So didn't we get a new system, like for to help manage, like reservations and stuff? And is that like a part of a bigger system in the city, or is that?
no. We just bought the new Civic Plus,
Civic Rec.
Civic Rec.
Yes,
We
Civic
just
Rec.
purchased that not too long ago.
I just didn't see it. Like, would that go under the subscriptions and stuff like that? I just didn't know where you put it. That's what I was asking.
We may have paid for the first year. Did we pay for the first
Yeah,
year?
I can't
Already.
recall. Yeah.
Okay, That makes sense.
And does that system tie back to the treasurer's office?
So right now I think it does two main things. One is that it makes the reservation process a little more seamless for the residents and everything. And then the second part is the
First year has been paid for. That's why it's not.
Got it. Okay. So we're not trying to decide if that's what we're going to continue.
and then the second thing is that right now we have to kind of manually give people back their deposits. This would help automate that deposit refund process.
It's gonna make it cashless too. I mean, there's no more accepting money at the rec center and all that. Go online, book your room, and you're straight.
Love that.
That's what, Dearborn Heights, the Heights does.
Taylor has it too.
I went in there and it was like 25. I said $25 to see AAU basketball.
To watch?
Yes,
Oh wow.
$25.
$5.
AAU does that though. AAU.
AAU
That
basketball.
wasn't
They charge
that
you a
expensive
lot.
back in the day, but I guess it's been a long time.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Dollars.
$25.
Enter.
But that's usually, doesn't AAU charge separate though? Don't they usually charge separate? Yeah, they can set their prices.
I mean, that's not a lot.
Shoot,
$25
it is a lot.
for an AAU game?
When's the last time you been to AAU?
Well, it's been a long time for me, but I don't remember paying $25.
When I used to play, it was expensive.
Oh, you telling somebody age now?
It's a lot. It's not unusual, but it is that's what everybody charging that. Yeah,
It is a lot of money, but it's not
And you
unusual.
know, when I went there, I mean, getting off the subject, but when I went there, people were parking on the grass. It was full. You couldn't find any parking spots. So imagine $25 for all these people. It's
big
amazing.
money. Yeah, it's big money.
Apparently.
Big money.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got I think a couple other things is looking at the building maintenance and just talked about that where we think we can save some costs, but we're also trying to again address some of the key things, specifically the upkeep of the building. And then the next big thing is our capital improvements. There's $50,000 that's allocated in there. Right now, we're not spending that this fiscal year, again, because of the grant situation. This is something that we could very well take out. As we move down, we can kind of see where we are from a spending standpoint, but this is something that we could move out. There are some funds that are available. We could keep a smaller amount in there based on what else is going on with the fund. Then going over to the next page, the two items there. One is the Summerfest, and that would be for next fiscal year. So that would be for the July 26th Summerfest. That would be an appropriation for that. We're trying to get, again, a focus on programming for the Parks and Recreation Fund and getting some consistency with the events that we're putting on. And so we're including that amount in there for this year's Summerfest. As I had mentioned before, we are doing some fundraising on top of whatever is appropriated, primarily through vendors and from sponsors. And then the last item is we make a traditional or generally make a $100,000 transfer out of this fund to the Commission on Aging Fund. And so that's been the $100,000 that's usually made, and we show that amount there for Parks and Rec. So if you look at it, the total appropriations are up to $644,000. That's pretty much tied to the increase in employees. If we wanted to look at reducing that, because we are spending above for next fiscal year, we are spending above the estimated revenues. We are fairly conservative on the revenue side. There's, we want to boost up the revenues. We want to give ourselves ample time to do that. But then looking at the appropriations, there are some areas that we could reduce, including including that capital improvements category to get the appropriations a little more in line with the projected revenues. This would be kind of a one-time thing. There is some fund balance that is in there, but again, we could certainly take out some of the expenses. I think both in building maintenance and in capital improvements would be two of the areas that we could look if we wanted to keep the cost in line with the projected revenues.
One of the Parks and Rec commissioners asked me, since the senior citizens are getting their own wing, should we still be sending this $100,000 over to them? And or should we take that money, are we responsible for the utilities as if they were part of the rec center?
So the expectation is that the commission is going to be paying their own utilities. We don't have a set formula in place. I think the idea is for us to take a look at what the recreation center has historically done, compare that with once the senior center is open. to try and get some idea. But right now, the idea is for the commission to cover their own costs for the utilities for the senior center.
I wonder what the projection would be if we said, hey, we're gonna hold this 100, but we'll pay your utilities. You know, are we basically at the same point? Because it's kind of strange for us to take our money, give it to them, and they turn around and give it back to them. You know, in the building, it belongs to us, essentially. Because, you know, even though it's theirs, we own it. We have to maintain it, we have to fix it, whatever happens to it. But it's just, I guess we could play it out the first year, see what they spend, and maybe adjust something next year. But something we probably want, because it's $100,000. And I see, you know, we're a negative for this year.
Yes.
You know, that's,
That was my thought. Like, why cut things that we may need, especially when it comes to like capital improvement and maintenance. Like, the rec center needs.
and they have their own millage. You know, I mean,
And that's what I was gonna ask too. So like, they have their own millage on top of us giving them the $100,000.
yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what they plan to do employee-wise. I mean, you know, I'm seeing shit at this point, but I don't know what they plan to do with the building. Are they hiring, they need a receptionist, I believe, unless they're gonna get a volunteer. Obviously, Sabrina gets paid by the Alliance, so are they hiring employees? I don't know what their plan is when it comes to all that stuff. Who's gonna clean the kitchen? Are we gonna clean it, just like we have our other kitchen? And they probably gonna keep it clean themselves, I suspect, but. You know, we probably should talk to them after we cut the ribbon and they're all happy and everything. We should probably have a conversation.
Hey, look.
Hey, we need that money back. Yeah. They are?
Yeah, receptionist.
They're gonna hire a receptionist. Oh, okay.
How much they paying, Lou?
Yeah.
22 an hour. That wouldn't be a bad job.
Part-time.
That's right. I ain't bad about right now. Application.
You got no.
That doesn't sit right with me that they're gonna hire someone for 22 an hour, and then our Parks and Rec people, I think maybe just got a raise.
Oh, wow.
Like, just got, like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rock the boat.
Oh, no, it is.
Just
I mean-
throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's, yeah. We should probably at least be consistent with what we're paying our folks in the same building essentially.
Doing more.
We need to have a conversation.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need that. 'Cause, hey, we might lose one of our Parks and Recs employees.
No, I mean, I would.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna lie. To be a receptionist.
Be a reception.
One of the seniors who'd like to remain anonymous came to me last week and said, hey, what if I don't want to move into the new building? I like what I'm doing right here. Can I stay here?
Well, yeah, I mean, seniors can use the rec building, but, you know, no, she gotta go.
Right, was that you asking? Like,
Yeah, you go ahead, you evict her.
right.
You work on that.
Exactly.
Okay, I have one question for you. I remember in past administrations where money was taken out of the park fund, the recreation fund, to do other things. So, by this being partially funded by the millage, or is it all funded by the millage?
All funded.
The millage and then revenues from the recreation center.
So, going forward, is there something that we can put language up under the ballot to let them know what their money, their funding? Because it's.
It can only be spent on Parks and Rec. So
Yes.
Parks and Rec,
Right.
if someone took out $10,000 and spent on something else, they're probably out of order.
Now there was a time when there was some monies that were being moved to cover pension costs for Parks and Rec.
That was years ago, wasn't it?
Yes, that was some
That's a
time
long
ago.
That was a long time ago.
But outside of that,
Still
and then
getting it?
Well, no. I mean, one year I believe there was some money taken out to buy football equipment.
Right.
We don't have a football team under Parks and Rec. So that might have been legally questionable, but that has passed. We didn't get in trouble. So, but we wouldn't do that. I mean, we can't do that.
Right, that's why I was asking, is it something, that we can give the, before they pass the millage, could be funded up under there, because if something comes up, like professional consulting again, and we haven't had that before, so they kind of skeptical of what happened some years, you know what I'm talking
We
about.
can put out some information, and when we talk about the millage, information sheet, we can send with the water bill or send out digitally.
What we could use for that, and you know what I'm saying?
What can we use the money for?
Correct.
These are the things we can use the money for, you know.
I mean, but I feel like if that's the case, then we put like we'd have to put those guidelines, right? Like the millage wouldn't.
No, it's the
We
law.
need the millage.
yeah, I mean,
You know what
so
that's how I feel like it's like.
Oh, we're gonna pass the
You know what I mean?
millage.
That's what I'm
That's the
like.
millage, but what I'm saying is, it's always people coming back,
Asking for,
Asking what it is. Okay.
what stuff is.
can I have this? Can you do this? You know?
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair.
Okay.
So yeah, so like I said, I think the thing is, do we want to trim? And we went through some of the building maintenance costs. Don't have everything. A couple years ago it was about $100,000. Last year, it looks like it was less. Right now, there's not. Those costs. So, it's something that we could take a look at. I'm talking about that $110,000
For maintenance.
at reducing that.
Reducing it?
Reducing the $110,000 that we have in building maintenance, because again, we just have not been using that much. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to
We
underestimate.
need to do anything we can to build up that.
What it is, like, we've been lucky enough to get grant money for the major stuff. So now, if the electrical's new, the roof is new, the HVAC's new, the elevator's
That's the
new,
main ones.
the flooring is new.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have a lot of maintenance.
Jacked up.
The kitchen, we just gotta keep it clean.
The kitchen jacked up.
So
I'm
we
a
need.
cook. The kitchen jacked up.
I'm not gonna have a lot of building maintenance at the rec center like I have in the
Right, because
past.
everything's
A
new.
lot of money in the rec center.
We need to get the kitchen together. 'Cause there's some stuff, when you rent the kitchen out and people spill stuff and do stuff,
It's not only that, it's the usage of it. And you can make more money if you got a good kitchen because people will have dinners, more showers, cabarets. They do all of that if we have a good kitchen.
Up to date one.
are they willing to pay more though? Because we've been undercharging, and then when it's time to fix the kitchen,
Pay
we
for
all,
what you get. Yes,
I was
they'll
gonna
pay.
So,
Pay for what you
say,
get.
Yep,
That's a good asset.
Councilwoman, when you say the kitchen, do you think it's the way in which we've managed it, or are you saying the
I'm saying the equipment.
equipment is not?
The stove, you
Okay.
need a new oven, a new stove, you need a new deep fryer in there, and then you need to make sure that those people clean up because
That's
they
the
don't
problem.
do that
They don't clean
either.
up.
So when they make a deposit, they don't get it back. You know
we
what
gotta
I'm
raise the
saying?
deposit though.
Right,
because
we gotta raise
It,
the
Ain't
cost.
big
it
enough.
doesn't matter because they just don't. And
They
then
took
you
the
have
deep
these nonprofits that come in and they don't clean up after themselves.
That's true.
And it's just
She's
a
gonna be
problem.
over it since she's the cook. She cooks there.
We just make a fee.
I just
that
know what
they
you
just don't
need,
get
and I
back for
know
cleaning.
that when
Clean
the,
Like you have to rent out the kitchen separately, maybe. You know what I mean? And then that fee
No,
can go toward.
it would be,
Like that.
it would probably have to be to get, if you're doing, say, the cabaret, or even like the Goodfellows that do even though there's no charge for that, it's still a problem when people come in and they're doing things, because I went to a party that they had there, which was a birthday party that they had, but one side of the building the electrical didn't work, and you running cords over it so people can have their DJ. I mean, it's really a mess. So it's a lot of work that we could do, and that could be our moneymaker if we make it top notch.
I agree.
That's how I look at it.
Well, we're gonna try to fix all the major stuff out of the grant money we got from the county, because we still have a little bit of money left. Now, it's getting eaten up by stuff like the asbestos. We didn't realize we had asbestos. We have asbestos. It's $58,000 just to get the asbestos out from the floor. $58,000 just to take it out. And then we got to buy the flooring and put the flooring down. So, money goes real quick. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, because it's older building.
we got to stay on top of the kitchen stuff, because I don't, until something breaks. We have been doing a good job of preventive maintenance on the entire building, but the kitchen even more so. I mean, we got to figure out what it would take for somebody to come in every week or two and check everything, make sure it's working properly, degrease whatever needs to be degreased, make sure the refrigerator's clean. It's just going to be more money in cleaning. I guess that's what we're talking about, right? And getting a cleaning company that's a step up. We've been getting people who clean.
Yeah,
We might need a cleaning
do
company.
everything. It's just
It needs to be
it does.
We have a professional cleaning company that comes in and the kitchen is light.
Spotless.
They do the
It used to be.
industrial cleaning.
How often do we do it? Twice a year?
He's doing it quarterly. I think he's got it, quarterly, and they're doing a
Fire
good job.
department is twice a year.
Okay.
And so that's a step up. So some of the things that I'm thinking about, even like we got an old dishwasher in there that's inoperable. Why is it there? I don't have not. And what does it take to get it out of there?
Well, you can just take it out. But the deep fryer, we took out the deep fryers
Deep fryer for
for the summer camp
summer-
stuff.
Well, to be a licensed child care facility, which is what we need, the status we need to have a summer program for the kids, to get the grant money from Wayne Metro. And so
Right.
they said that a deep fryer is a no-go item, it had to go. There was no way around it. The mayor talked to people, we talked to people, they said there's no way around it. Deep fryer has to go, so it's out.
Which affects you if you're trying to fry some chicken or French fries.
Baby, I know how to fry with a skillet. Give me a
Cast iron, cast iron. Problem solved.
I'm at a time. I know where I'm saying.
So you had to take that, you had to take
But
that.
it was
Take it out?
filthy.
It was filthy, but we had to take it out.
Oh, I cleaned it myself. It's spotless now. If you
Good. This
go look at it,
is good to know.
I had never done one of those before, but
You want it for your house? We got to put it somewhere. You want to put it in your house?
Oh, absolutely not.
Good, we had a fish fry. We just got to plug it up somewhere.
plug it up. It's spotless, absolutely spotless.
Maybe we need
Plug it
to
up outside.
pass that on to the customer. You know, just be like, you're gonna rent that room. There's just an automatic kitchen cleaning fee added to it, especially
ask them to
especially if you utilize the kitchen. You know,
So we shouldn't even ask them to clean up. We should.
in
we
the
should just-
contract, there should be basic like clean up after yourself in the contract. However, like
But
if
that's
you're
the deposit,
utilizing
though,
other
baby.
stuff,
It's just
well, no,
small.
but like
gotta raise the
but
deposit.
ultimately, in like my opinion, if it's a small enough fee and you charge it on every single person, then that almost pays for the industrial cleaning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it may not be like $100 or $50, but it could be an extra $10 or $20. No matter what you
What
have
is
to
it now?
pay if
It's
you
more than
utilize
that.
that
What's the
room.
deposit?
Deposit is 200.
Oh, that's too low.
Cash deposit.
That's too low. That's very low.
But the goal
I
should
mean,
just
especially
be
when you're using the kitchen, because you could break something in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And $200 is really not gonna be.
One of the things I noticed too is that anytime you're using grease, you
And
can
that's
clean
the
up,
key.
do a basic cleanup, and you're not going to hit that. And especially over time, the grease going to build up.
It's going to build up.
The industrial cleaner came in, and it made a big difference the first time they came because they had all the grease. They had the chemicals and
Right. To
get the
do
grease
it.
off.
right.
And that grease sticking to everything.
It does.
Grease is nasty.
The stove.
And your fan,
the fan.
the fan and everything that's in there.
Which I feel like, which is why we could like,
Yeah, you're walking in.
if every customer pays a small fee,
Well, he has to be
then it will cover the big fee. You know what I mean? The big haul that later will happen. And I know we don't like to pass always like those different type of costs on to like our citizens, residents, whoever rents it. But I think it's just like time. Like you said, like $250 or whatever to rent certain rooms or $500 for certain rooms. Like that's really cheap, you know, for everything that they get. So.
You know, it's funny. I had somebody complain on social media about renting something for 4 hours for $100. You saw that?
Yeah.
And I was like, what world do you live in?
Well, if for whatever function you're doing, everybody don't use that deep fryer.
Right.
So maybe if you know when you're doing the contract, will you be utilizing the deep fryer? Then that's the extra fee.
Extra charge, so we got to clean it. We got to drain the oil. We got to do all that.
Yeah, you do.
We have to hook it up. We don't get it ahead of time and then
Yeah.
set it up because we got to put it up and then take it back down for licensing purposes. We can't leave it just sitting in there like it was before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We probably got to just leave it this summer. You can't use
Yeah,
it.
you can't use it.
Because we got the kids there in the summer. Now, if in the summer you want to put it back and then next summer take it out again, we can do that.
You have to remove the whole thing.
They'll take the whole thing out. Can't even be there.
Wow.
Otherwise, we can't have the camp there.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
It is.
I thought it was a little strange, but
Really.
I mean, I guess they think kid can get his hand in there, throw
It
something in there,
should
the
be, and
grease
it
pop
gets
back up.
dangerous in general. Like, how many people know how to properly put out a grease fire? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Nobody.
it's just an overall
Kids
hazard.
shouldn't be in the kitchen. No.
You know.
Right. We could have just locked the kitchen though, but they were like, no, you have to take it out.
I mean, that makes sense. You got to save people from themselves.
So I do have one question, statement. Looking at this fund balance, it's been a while since Parks and Recs, like you were saying, Parks and Recs is generating
Yeah, so Parks and Rec, we've
money.
yeah, we kept that in the positive because we knew that there was the risk of there being like if the roof went out, it would have wiped out our fund balance. We're in a little bit different position now because something could still go wrong, but it's not, we're not dealing with an old HVAC, an old roof, bad floors, that kind of stuff that, it's still a older building and there's still things, but we've addressed a lot of the major concerns that we had there. And so the question is, do we want to be a little bit more flexible this year in terms of spending a little bit more than we're expecting to bring in? I think, again, one of the things we're certainly going to look at is trying to, build the building up, the rec center up, so we can boost revenues. We can try and incorporate that into this year, but we're taking a conservative approach. And then we also can see how the expenses shake out, and what we can do with that going forward in terms of the building costs and everything.
Yeah. You gotta spend money to make money.
You do.
So, if we're not gonna do it now, we're gonna keep pushing it off like we do everything else, and then it's gonna be a bigger issue.
You want to make it attractive, like you're saying.
You're right.
Because people will rent. They're always looking for a place to rent,
Yeah.
but you got to make it beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, are we keeping this, like in budgets moving forward, this Summerfest line item, or is this kind of like a just for this year thing? So I thought we kind of discussed, like a while ago, like the Summerfest might have to be something that's sacrificed in order to kind of keep pushing the.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay. Like we already have it done. I know we talk about like we want to kind of celebrate the city. But like I said, is this something that we're going to just continue to approve every year?
So I think it's a couple of things. One is, we didn't have as much time this year in terms of planning. As we wrap up this year, we're going to start planning next year's right away. Then it's about how much money can we raise. We'll have a lot more time to focus on fundraising. And then I think the question is, at what level do we want to try to do this? Is it more of a local thing? Do we want to have it be more of a, broader audience, in terms of the acts that we bring in? Because that's one of the big drivers for the cost. And then it's just, just a matter of priority. I mean, I think it's certainly something that everyone has indicated they want to have here as an annual event. It's just a question of how much it's going to cost and where that money is going to come from. And, is it a priority for the Parks and Rec Fund over some of the other things that they could be doing?
And we're putting in parks. I mean, I guess it makes sense for it to be in Parks and Rec, but
That's right. Get him something.
I mean, to go,
There you go. Yeah.
He doesn't even notice he does it anymore. Everybody else, he like,
make it noise.
Is this a bad year for me?
Allergy.
it's the trees right now, the cottonwood trees. So.
I don't got a Zyrtec for you, so sorry.
Pass this down to him.
But yeah, but that was it. I just wanted to know, and then like making sure that like, because I know we had like a little bit of a cushion in the general fund, but you were recommending it come out of this fund instead.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it just makes sense to take it out of here. Yeah. At least for this year, and then kind of evaluate it moving forward.
Having in my hair, we used to pass them. We tell about it.
We can make some money. We have a Dunkin' thing. Put the mayor up there. They throw the ball. He fall in the thing.
did that already.
You know how much money?
Water was germy.
Anything else on Parks and Rec? Any other questions or comments?
You guys doing a great job over there.
Yeah,
A good job.
Good job,
Where it
Rex.
was at a long time ago.
Yeah, we just have to.
yeah, you're doing a great job.
That's our revenue. We gotta keep that up. You got something else?
It's a basketball game coming on tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Y'all schedule these at every basketball game. That's what it is.
Come on, y'all.
Y'all.
So, So we have the our rubbish fund, garbage and rubbish. Not a lot to report here. We have two big things here in terms of revenues. We have our tax millage that's generates revenues from our property taxes, and then we have the rubbish fee. We're proposing to keep those at the rubbish fee at the same rate, which I believe is $81 or $83. And think the fund is in pretty healthy shape, all things considered. When we look at the expenses, we've got a few key things. One is our contract rubbish. That's what we pay to the contractors. Republic is it Republic? Priority. They always go through name changes. So Priority is our contractor right now. That agreement is up at the end of this month.
End of this month, so we will, I've had talks with the mayor, and Mr. Carrington. Mayor and the mayor will be meeting with Mr. Rutherford, but, not looking good right now for Priority.
No, it's not.
You know, as you've seen them in the news, so we ought to have some discussion with them. You know, it might not be a full-term contract. It might be, you know, maybe a 1 year.
They want a longer term deal.
We want a 6 to 10 year deal right now.
But they're performing horribly.
Mayor's
right
not,
Yeah.
we're not, in line with that right now.
This same thing happened last year though, right? When they asked we extended it by a year,
We
right?
put them on probation last year to see how they would do this year, and up to now, they was doing pretty.
This is the second time it's been
It's the
bad.
second time, and it was around the same time last year.
Yep.
What are they?
And I'll just tell you, their issue is,
Oh, that's all right.
it's not, I don't know how they run their company, but it's on the planning side. So everybody knows the first of the year compost starts. So they bring back their seasonal employees. But then, instead of you putting out 3 trucks, now you need 4 trucks. Now we got a problem. Now they got a problem. And it's every year, so you gotta get it right sometime.
Who's been knocking on the door, going to the headquarters. They won't even talk to them.
But now they start picking and choosing
Right.
what they pick up,
They sure do. Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question? Who else is out there doing trash, as far as Priority?
I heard there's a company out of, south of us in Ohio that's trying to come into Michigan. But we know about Rizzo. He got out of jail. He started another company. You know, Rizzo was GF.
Was that waste?
Was the one who originally owned GFL. That's why they
Okay.
had to change their name once he went to jail. But he's back out there.
We're in the wrong business. We need to
Wayne,
get
Wayne, the City of Wayne just did their bid, and they stayed with Priority at a much lower rate. And we just gotta look and see.
Westland has somebody else.
Nobody else to go to.
It's only a
right?
couple. It's like
Westland still has
They
Priority.
got priority too.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see no other trucks to say something. No.
We used to. It's not a lot.
We used to.
So I look at it like this: you have waste management, but I don't know if it's a benefit to waste management to take home Inkster, Garden City,
Correct.
Dearborn Heights, and Westland for the simple fact our trash goes to their landfill. So I don't know if that's a plus.
So they get money anyway.
Oh yeah.
Getting money off the landfill.
Wow.
So it's not a whole lot in the market, but Paul is trying to schedule, once I get the mayor's schedule, trying to schedule a meeting with me and the mayor, so that will be a very intense conversation.
They keep taking us to nice restaurants because they know their service sucks.
I have been.
You want to
I
go?
don't eat. The mayor tell you I don't eat a lot.
Yeah, he nothing. I'm like, give me the expensive steak. 'Cause y'all ain't picking up no garbage.
You want to meet some women with you.
Yeah.
You trying to say?
Y'all can come. Shit, they pay.
They say like she trying to say we eat.
Y'all can get. Might as well get a meal.
Tell you what we think.
That's gonna be interesting because they all over the news.
Yeah, it's
They
bad.
all-
Bad luck.
You would think that they acquired some of that from Waste Management, correct?
Well, no, they bought GFL.
GFL. Okay, so you would think that since they almost got a monopoly out there,
Well, then they can do what they want to do. Then you stuck. If they got all the accounts,
right. Right.
what are you gonna do?
They did fire their CEO, so they do have a new management team too. So they going through some transition and going
Okay,
pains.
well,
right
hopefully they can get it together.
Hope so.
We will see. I sent you guys the last email that you look at where they said they was about to buy 160 trucks and some other stuff.
Yeah, they
I
say more
forwarded that
staff
out.
and all, yeah.
Yeah, they be spending us though. Every time something go wrong, they give us some BS.
Right.
You know, when you gonna be caught up? Oh, by Sunday, they ain't have no idea when they gonna be caught up.
Have, like
They're
something.
just-
They don't even pick up our garbage like they used to no more.
We used to like penalize them, like a
Yeah,
fee,
they-
kind of like Dearborn.
I mean, I think one other city's withheld their payment last on Dearborn Heights. Somebody,
They
yeah.
don't care about that.
Well, they gonna get if they pick up the garbage, they gonna make you pay them at some point. I mean, it's bad. Now, I think another city didn't pay them last year when they did this too. They stopped paying them. They'll care then.
Right, and that's where I'm at. Like,
It's like a catch-22 though. You withhold the payment, they just say, okay, we're not gonna send no trucks.
never really did.
Everybody just.
Then we have a
take-
problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a catch-22.
So right now,
Hold it
they're
and
not
switch.
violating the contract because they send me notice every morning that they're behind. So as long as they adhere to that, and then they send us a letter trying to address the issue, I can't really find them.
Right.
Yeah, not per the contract.
Right.
But their contract's up in it.
Right.
But we're probably gonna have to renew at least for a year and get ourselves together and see if the market changes. 'Cause we may not have a choice. But much of a choice.
Okay. Okay.
So just kind of wrapping up with the rubbish fund. Like I said, this fund is in pretty good shape. We're generating more than sufficient revenues to cover our costs. Even if there is an increased cost in terms of what we pay to the contractor, there is sufficient fund balance to cover that. We try to keep the projected costs in line with the projected revenues, but we do have some wiggle room when it comes to the fund balance. So that, with the contract expiring, if we have to go up, again, we've got money set aside to absorb that for this fiscal year, for the next fiscal year, without having to look at any type of change in what we're charging and everything. Everybody all right?
What's the incinerator again? Not what is it, but
That's where we take our trash to work when it matters. You know,
oh, that's the price for that.
Yeah.
Right there.
on North East Road,
Yeah.
they tore it down.
Yeah, I remember that.
So okay, it's just the name didn't change the
I'm
landfill.
sorry, you don't remember.
Who? Who?
He might remember that.
I do. If it was, I'm 38. It was there.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, why did everybody say that though? Oh, wow.
He loud and proud. Izzy don't know nothing about it though.
Loud and proud, do not.
I was just wondering because I see the word incinerator and I know that used to be the incinerator there and it's not there. So, but it's just the verbiage didn't change.
Yeah.
But it's landfill.
Our garbage still has to go
to landfill.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, are we good? So we got one more to go.
Oh, we're doing good.
I want to
Today? Oh, right.
all the
Y'all
GPS
wanna take it?
representatives here. I think they're gonna ask us for a lot of money, y'all. It's too many of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something's wrong.
They setting you up?
Listen, one.
Hey, this is a setup.
We need to ask them for a loan.
Right.
So our last one is 592. Are we just going to push on through this here?
Go ahead. This the last one?
Last one.
And then Darren can get to his golfing. Leave him alone.
He coughing tonight.
No, not today.
I just bought my first pair of clubs. So I might try to golf in his golf outing.
Uh-oh, you ready?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
So I better watch out.
When is your golf outing?
August 22nd.
Oh, okay.
At least come
where
and
you having that?
at least come drink. At Inkster Valley.
Huh?
Inkster Valley. It's fun. It's fun.
Would you return your phone call?
You call me?
You called me.
Okay, so I'm going to start off here. We have our
2 or 3 times.
Fund 592, our water sewer fund. We've got, as the mayor pointed out, almost all of our administrative team there. Keep in mind, Carrie's on the clock, so we got
She gets paid by the minute.
yeah. So we can keep Jerome and everybody, Jerome, Tori, and Maya here all night. But Carrie, so ask her questions first, and then she can leave.
Here, you gotta go.
But so Fund 592, as you guys know, this is one of our more important funds. For terms of city operations, it's been a very eventful fiscal year for this fund. We've done a lot of important activities for the city's water system. Like a lot of communities, as we are always reminding people, we have a very aged infrastructure that's in need of a lot of work. There's no way around that. We've been doing a lot in terms of the funding for this, the state revolving fund. And this year this past fiscal year, the current fiscal year, started at the end of last fiscal year, but we replaced all of our water meters. That was approximately $6 million replacement. You know, we had some kind of growing pains with that, but I think we're in a much better place with our customers. I know we're in a much better place with the system that we have for billing. You know, we were not able to accurately bill a large percentage of our customers, and we feel really good about the system that we've been able to put in place. We started last spring. We're pretty much, I would say, over 90% complete in terms of the installations, the installs for all of our customers, and I think we're getting much better, much more quality data in terms of us being able to bill. And so I think it's going to provide us a foundation for having a better system, a better operation moving forward. We don't have a lot of the data from that, you know, because it's probably only been about 4 or 5 months when we've had the majority of people on this system, but we're going to be tracking just to see how this works. I think we're going to see some improvements in the amount of water that we're purchasing from GLEWA that wasn't getting sold to our retail customers. Generally refer to that as water loss. We were above 30%, meaning for every 10 gallons that we bought, 3 of those gallons were just being eaten up by the system from a cost standpoint. And so more than 30, probably closer to 40%. And so I can't stress just how important the meters are, how important the revolving fund that we program that we're involved with the state. As you know, we did the bonds last year, and so there's tens of millions of dollars in capital improvements that's going on. The department is just really active, really busy, but it's just really, really necessary work. You know, oftentimes you don't see this stuff until there's a water main break. But there, you know, there's just a lot that's going on with it, and a lot that has to go into it. And so, you know, I think over the last year we took some important steps. We want to continue that in the next year. And so let's just kind of dive into the budget here. I do want to point out that our contract with GLEWA expires it's expiring.
Yep. And we will be bringing the new contract before you guys July 1. Either the first meeting in July or the second meeting in July for your approval. I think we had 6% savings carry from GLEWA. But understand, even though that's a savings, I still have to do what I have to do with the infrastructure. So it's a savings on one end, but that money still has to go into the ground. So I can't do nothing else with it because I know previous administration has asked me to give it back to the residents. We can't do that. We just can't, you know, because our infrastructure is crumbling. You know, about 70% of our infrastructure. I think we're the 3rd or 4th oldest infrastructure in Michigan. Yeah, we're almost approaching 100 years. Yeah.
So, kind of what I heard, because one of my questions was, if we have less like water loss, would allow us to lower rates? And the answer is no.
No.
Okay.
We may stabilize.
Okay.
Yeah. We may not be jumping. We jump every year. Right. We didn't raise them last year. We haven't raised them this year.
Correct.
So if we win that, hopefully we can stay around somewhere close to here for a while.
So,
Okay, cool.
just to give you the history of the water department, we were averaging right around, 16% increase per year.
Okay.
12 to
wow.
16% increase. We did nothing last year, and we got a water audit study being performed right now, and the way it's trending, we probably won't do anything this year. If anything, it will be very minute.
Well, let's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's not say that.
That's my job.
So, as the director said, we don't have a rate increase as a part of this budget. There's a couple things. One, we talked about the new meters. We're doing a rate study. and that really involves us taking a deep dive. We have a consultant that we work with, taking a deep dive of saying, okay, how much are you bringing in? How much are you spending? And how much do you need to spend? Because that's one of the things there's probably a bunch of projects that we could be doing if we had the money for it. So it's not a situation where we save and we can refund the customers. There's, we have more capital needs than we have capital. But the expectation is that we're going to sometime early part of next fiscal year be able to come back and give you guys a clear picture of what's going on, showing you, with this rate model, again, how much we're bringing in, what the numbers are looking like, what our capital needs are, how all of that shakes out, and what our current rates, how that reflects out over a projected timeline. One of the things that we'll also be taking a look at is our rate structure. Like right now, we charge, if you don't use anything, you aren't charged anything. A lot of communities have kind of a base charge because there's, if nobody used anything, we still would have costs for the system. And so one of the things that we will look at is saying, maybe we have a upfront charge that no matter what, you're charged $25 or there's just some number, even if you don't have any service, because we know that there's a cost with just maintaining the system. Right now, all of our costs to the customer are based solely on what they use. And we might want to look at a kind of a hybrid system where there's a cost for being connected, and then there's a cost based on what you use. But again, right now we're not proposing any rate change. We'll come back, sometime in the summer, early fall, once the rate study's done, and be able to lay things out and make a more of an informed decision, an informed recommendation, and let you guys make an informed decision on that, that piece of it.
If we did like the base rate for people who even don't use, like, would that help us even not have to raise the rate even longer? Or is that something that we could pass? I know they don't want to pass savings on to the customer, but water has been such a big issue here in the city. So
I just thought as water costs rise, we're gonna raise it.
That's fair, yeah.
That's just what it's gonna be. But I would be scared to death after going through this meter installation process to turn around and have to explain to them what the base rate went for, and then to get used to that. I'm gonna let the next mayor do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like a community approach. Like, I think that, like, kind of we were talking about with like the kitchen cleanup, like something so basic. Like, if everybody pays something, right? It's a community. We are the city of, We are the city of Inkster. So if I help, it helps me.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what.
Actually, I got an idea from a very famous legislator. Told me something about the water bill. He said, I think it was in Ipsy, years ago. They had 2 meters on each house. So a meter for inside the house and then a meter for outside the house. So if you water your grass, which just seeps into the ground, you don't pay the sewer cost. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, because people complain about the sewer costs all the time. If you water your grass, why are you paying the sewer cost? It's going right in the ground,
Yeah.
But now that requires you to have 2 meters.
Right.
Good luck whoever's got to tell people they got to get another meter or not,
So, Mr. Mayor, as you say that, as you say that, your water department and engineering department are having discussions.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but that's another piece of hardware we'd have to buy, or the residents would have to buy. But they'd probably be happy with not paying sewer on those. Yeah.
But
I would buy one if I had a choice.
But the first thing I have to do is we would have to change the ordinance,
Change the ordinance?
our city ordinance, to reflect that. And we
What-
have, me, Kerry, and Rodney, our S1, have had discussions, and
Well, we could change the ordinance, as long as the resident has the option, they pay for it.
we just gotta sit down and go over it with you so you can understand exactly how that works. Because other cities do that.
That's
For swimming pools and irrigation systems and larger facilities that recycle those.
Would your study kind of help us make those decisions to kind of help? Okay.
Yeah. So it would lay all those out, different alternatives. I think one of the things with our rate structure, because a lot of people talk about our rates compared to other communities, and I believe it's the way our rate structure works. The people who use lower amounts of water actually pay a little bit more than people who use
Yeah, they overpay.
the higher amounts, because the 1 unit, if you are using a larger number of units, those costs are spread over, a larger usage, as opposed to if you're only using 1 or 2 units, because we don't have that flat rate model. Everything is just built into the usage, into the usage rate and everything. So that's really the purpose of the rate models, for it to say, okay, this is what it would look like, this is what it would cost the average customer. Some of it could just be a situation where we're just not increasing the overall cost, we're just spreading it around a little differently. And so we wouldn't necessarily raise rates, we would just be distributing them a little bit differently. The objective would be to, just divide it up a little differently, and then capture that, that customer who's not necessarily using anything, the vacant house and the like, who still is connected, but they're not using it. But there's that cost that's associated with using the system. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The city were to turn off all the meters and not any water, there's still a bill.
Right, because it goes.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for saying that. That's interesting.
Mr. Chair?
And then,
Oh, was you finished?
I was one last question.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
We've rectified like a good amount of the water bill issues. Like, do you feel like things are stable?
Yeah. So just kind of looking at the big picture, the lobby's not as crowded and heated as it was a few months ago. And we definitely have seen a decrease in that. I think there were a few things going on. One, it was people who were getting estimated bills, not knowing what their actual usage was. And so when they got their bills, they're like, hey, I was getting billed 3 units. Now I'm getting billed for 6. And it's because that's what their actual usage was.
Part of our water loss.
Right, okay.
Because we didn't know how much water they used. Meters, 70% of meters.
Yep. And then we had situations where people were getting estimated. Their usage may not have been that high, but they had leaks, and they didn't know it, because until they got a new meter, it wasn't showing up on their billing. Right. And so, I think the first few months, first 4 or 5 months, was a lot of that, and we just had to communicate, work with people, show them like, hey, we're seeing this. You may have been using 3 units before, but now we're seeing 7, 8, 10 units going through your meter and everything. So it has certainly, I think, the number of complaints, if you will, has gone down. Tanette Harris, our water analyst, does a really good job of on a case-by-case basis, explaining what's going on. I mean, we've got the technology where we can look that up, and she does a really good job of laying that out and explaining it to them. Some people are a little bit more open to what's going on than others, but we do, try to follow up with them. After Tanette, they meet with Jerome and with our engineering consultant, Rodney, if there's still some questions about the information that we presented to them. But I think overall, I think we've seen a significant improvement in that.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm finished. Thank you.
I have a question after.
Have we had a rate increase from the authority?
From Gleewood?
We're about to sign a new contract.
So we're about to get the new numbers from Gleewood. And so we'll be bringing that to you guys the first meeting of July. I think we need to have it to them in August, I believe. But we're going to bring it to council in July. Yep.
I know when we was having all those water issues years ago, before they became the authority. Remember when they came up and they explained to our residents what our we are the wholesalers, and then we got to pay. That would be
DWSD.
Yeah, that would be good to have them if they still do that.
They have put a PR group together within Gleewood, and that's some of the stuff they're going to be doing this upcoming year. They just want to come to council and talk to you guys. They also want to talk to the mayor, have a meeting with the mayor, so I have to get them on the schedule. So they just want to be more informative, like you.
Yeah, because that was very informative. That let our residents know that we wasn't really overcharging, because we being charged from here, and then if they charge us, we gotta come pass it along to our residents. So that would be good for them. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, one other good thing about the meters too is that the leak detection in the city of Inkster, that meter's doing what it's supposed to do.
That's good. So I don't have to call you no more, Tori, right?
Right. That's one thing we're proud of. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, and it's been very spot on for me. It's been very spot on for me.
Okay, all right.
I had a question. Yes. As far as when you were talking about the different rates for those who water their grass, and just to me that would go in line with if you washing your car every day, every week outside, that water's not going into the grass; it's going down the driveway. But those who fill up a pool, yeah, in that particular day, it's not going to the sewer. But when they drain it, that's not all being soaked up by the ground. So how do you calculate for that?
So when we write the new ordinance, that would be part of the ordinance. If you have runoff going into the storm drain or sewer system, you do not qualify. You do not qualify for that system because your waters, you are paying, you are using our sewage. So
People wash their cars anymore?
These are people who are really, not, people that would take advantage of this are people that are really not using. Like we have a facility next door to us, was it Plastico Steel? And they have a unique situation where they capture the water. So it's not going into the storm drain. So something like that where they actually not going into our sewer system. But we're going to put we're going to put an ordinance together, have some discussion with the mayor so he makes sure he's on board and understand exactly what we're saying. Because like I said, other cities do that, so we just coming aboard,
Okay. I'm just curious. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one last question. I'm sorry. So if we don't raise now, will we have like a really large hike later, like in a Dearborn Heights situation? Wasn't it Dearborn Heights? They just had like a crazy last year, had like a crazy rate hike, and it was like on the news, and it was a really big issue.
That was Garden City.
It was Garden City. It might have been Garden City. Like, do you think it's something that?
It was on the news right along. We was putting out meters.
Right.
I appreciate that.
And that's what we had in the past. We went several years without raising the rates. I don't know what was going on back then. And then the big jump, and that's what started the lawsuit years ago.
Because then I'm like, would it almost be better to like gradually raise it instead of us not raising it at all? Raise it maybe.
We're trying to get some data.
Percentage.
So
Yeah.
we would do it normally right now, but we're trying to get a year's worth of data with the new meters, and then we can then do our accurate projections and say, okay, this is where we're at.
Okay.
We may say, hey, we got to raise it 20 cents, or we may have to say we're fine where we're at for this year.
Okay. So that's just my, because I'm like, as we say, we get out of this like area where we're not on the news for this, and then now we're on the news because we had what it was like 23% hike in like Garden City randomly. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly hopeful that we won't be looking at those kind of numbers. I think, as the mayor pointed out, it would be hard for us to ask you guys to raise it because we just don't, we don't have.
It'd be a guess.
Yeah, we don't have the details to support it. That's the purpose of the rate study. But I firmly believe we're going to see some improvement. It may not be great, but I think we're going to see some improvement just from us being more able to accurately bill. Like, I can't overemphasize how, that put us in a less than desirable position, not being able to bill accurately. Just and I think we see, just if you look, that's why people were angry, because they were getting less. We were billing them less than what they were actually using. So now that we are billing people more accurately, letting people know that they have these leaks, and in order to get their bills down, they need to fix it. I think we'll see our revenues will be more in line with what we're purchasing from GLEWA. Okay. And that's I think that's going to have a big impact on us. Okay. How much is remains to be seen.
Keep in mind our revenues may be a little down because we had to wipe all late fees and stuff.
Yes.
A lot of people pay late, but since we got off track with the bills and stuff, so we 6-8 months we haven't charged any late fees, but that's okay. Once we get back to normal, we'll be okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. One of the, I'm sorry.
One question about.
Don't do my homegirl like that.
Spray right now.
The problem that I get from residents, number one, is they were complaining because you're saying the meters is going to address all of that. Some people get credit for the next 6 months where they don't have a bill. Mm-hmm. Other people are overbilled. So the new meters will address that.
Yes.
But the thing that they're angry also about is the quality of our water.
Okay.
Because even with the filters, you're changing the filters frequently when you're buying that, because our water still has that, it's still not clear.
Yeah, yeah.
So, quality of our water. I think we number 1 or number 2 in the country for the best water in the country. So, when people say the quality of our water, I'll be trying to understand.
Because when we say, hey, we went over for lead and water, whatever.
Right.
We flunked the test, and that's when people get worried. And in their minds, we have bad water. We have like you said, some of the best water in the country. But in their minds, we have bad water. I don't want to drink it. How many filters? I have a filter in my house, but I have 2 filters. I filter it coming out of the faucet, and I filter it when it's in the refrigerator. But we still have the best water. I mean, it's great water.
We can't control the pipe.
Gleaver does a great job of taking care of the water coming out of the river. I mean, people are lining up really to buy water from Gleaver.
To buy water?
Yeah,
It's the pipes though. It's not the water, it's the pipe. Old houses or any houses, if it's deteriorating, it's gonna be in your water. Whether it's steel, lead, whatever it is, whatever the pipe is, you gotta replace it.
My friend Mackenzie, she's like kind of been addressing the Instagram or the Facebook people, and she'll give people like testing strips, and a lot of the times their water comes back safe. It's just like, I think also like the fear one, and then like you said, pipes is the other one. So I thought that was interesting because she was literally addressing the issue, and if they did have like funky water when it came to their pipes, she would give them one of Councilwoman Rutledge's filters until they were able to get their pipes done.
So like we should start pushing out, it's not the water, it's the pipes. If your pipes need to be replaced, your pipes need to be replaced.
What we do, Mr. Mayor, in the CCR report that you signed that letter for?
I mean, we should do. Like when people say, oh, my water, no, the water is fine. Matter of fact, do your research. It's some of the best water you can buy. It's infrastructure. It's the pipes. It's where the water is flowing through. If we start pushing people understand it. They just think, you just think bad water, the water's bad. You're not thinking about what's making it bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess they're looking at the fact that they have filters and they have to change it so often.
Right. That's a good problem because you got the damn filter. I mean, people complain about whatever they can complain about. Like, yeah, they can replace their pipes. I mean, but right now we're replacing the lead pipes because we have to. But really, that's on them. I mean, we're not gonna say that because people get mad. But replace your pipes if you.
I think one of those things is like when we always look at things of lasting forever, but stuff only has a certain lifespan. Yeah. We get away with a lot with roofs and hot water tanks and furnace and even cars, because the older generation used to do every single piece of maintenance that was in the owner's manual, and the car lasted forever. We get in the car and be like, why this car bumping up and down the road after 5 years? And I was like, well, you supposed to change your shocks out at 50,000 miles, and you ain't changed them. You got 100,000 miles on the car. So it's the same thing with the pipes in the house. The stuff, I mean, it doesn't say when you sign your mortgage or buy the house, it's going to last you forever. It don't say that at all. It don't say nothing's not going to build up in those pipes or anything. If you just cut a section out and look through it, you might not be able to see through it.
Anyway, let's move on so we can go watch the game.
You cannot run things based on the games.
Okay, so we've got our water sales consumption there. That's our revenue based upon the what we bill to our customers, and it's broken down between water sales and sewer sales. So somewhat of a moving number. We're putting in 12 million in the budget, but that kind of remains to be seen, just based on, are there going to be, in some instances there are going to be more units built. In some instances, there may be, as we take care of some of the water loss, we could see less being built, which is not a bad thing. If we're, unit for unit needing to purchase less. As the mayor mentioned, the penalties and the tax rollovers, we did not do those for December and July. We did not roll over any overdue bills onto property taxes. and we have been waiving penalties for a number of months. We'll be looking to get those started at the beginning of next fiscal year, but there is some financial trade-off with that. So that's pretty much it. We have the property tax component for water, sewer, but that's pretty much it when it comes to the revenues. We have the sale to the customers and then what we collect on the property tax side. Moving on to appropriations. We've got our permanent salaries, which is the DPS workers, the water and sewer component of DPS. Again, as a reminder, we don't have any monies included for any contract increases that may come out of the new contract. So that would be an additional cost. We're just kind of keeping the same number budgeted employees at the current contract amount. The next items are some of our fringes. We have seen a couple of employees that have rolled off on the pension side, so we're projecting a little bit of a decrease in that particular area. And then we move down to the bottom and start looking at some of the operational costs. You see the operating supplies that are there, tools and equipment on the next page. We have our fuel cost. We've got different maintenance and supplies, and then we get into some of the project costs, and then I'll let Jerome kind of answer any questions that you may have here. But we've got our professional consultant figures here. A lot of these are going to be tied to the projects that are going on for professional consultant, engineering consultant. Those are some larger ticket items. We've got our repairs tied to the lead copper. We got repairs and then repairs tied to the lead copper that are there. Printing and advertising, which is for our water bills. I do want to point out that we will be, we're making some revisions. We've been taking some of the feedback we've gotten from customers, and we're going to be updating our water bill. Water bill hasn't been changed for a very long time, so we're going to be updating the water bill. The plan is to have the new water bill in place, and we'll bring that to you before, but to have that in place for the July billing, which would go out in August. So we're going to try and make the bill a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more transparent in terms of how the costs and payments are being applied.
When we're looking at the engineering consultant, what's the difference between professional consultant and engineer? We know who our engineer is. Who's the professional consultant? Are those the contractors fix water main breaks and stuff like that?
So talking 564-801 and 801.406.
Every need a loan, I'm calling Kerry to get some money, because it's $2.441 million dollars.
Yeah, the other line item is for outside.
I'm sorry, hanging out with her.
Outside.
Outside, okay, outside.
We need a loan, they got it.
Big money department.
And then the last item I'll point out there is the capital outlay. We've got $36 million in projects, as I mentioned. There's just a large volume of projects, large volume of work that the department is doing. A lot of contractors, a lot of projects, a lot of repairs that are going on. And we've got a figure of just under $37 million for next fiscal year that's in this line item. So I'll turn it over to you guys for any questions.
We got a lot of projects. We're gonna schedule the ribbon cutting for DPS building, so that's coming up soon. So as soon as we get a date, he's gonna send it out.
What day? Wednesday.
Next Wednesday?
No. 17th.
That's next one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what time you gonna do?
Early for you.
1 o'clock? Yeah.
You wanna do it around 11 o'clock, Mr. Mayor?
Whatever, I mean, I'm here all day.
I mean, it's up to council.
I can't do
What time
Wednesdays.
you want, 11? I mean, it'll be quick, we can have a little finger food or something.
I can't have to work. I have to
I
eat.
need your ribbon and scissors, yes.
Yeah,
Does 11 work for you guys?
Yep. So make sure we send something in case you do a press release. Let the, I guess the public is about it too, right? Yeah. They wanna walk through, look at some stuff, yeah. And then we're gonna do a groundbreaking for the animal shelter. At least we're gonna get the shovels out and dig some dirt and throw it around. So we're gonna do that soon. We signed the contract already, so we just gotta get with the contractor and see what they wanna do. Right behind the police, right on the corner of Throw Ridge.
What about the seniors? What is that? They have the ribbon
They're doing the finishing stuff. We were hoping by the end of this month, right? That's the goal. Or first week in July.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be completed and then this month, early July.
So we'll have 3 coming up very soon.
Wheatley Park.
Oh, Wheatley Park, I forgot about Wheatley Park. That's gonna be September.
No.
I thought it was to be done.
So the grant has to be executed fully by September.
Oh.
And so, but they're gonna be done with construction by the end of this month.
With the baseball field?
Baseball field, yeah.
They gonna regrade it and all that? They move,
Herbicide.
they all that work?
Yeah.
But that'd be for this summer.
They got the playscape up, they got the new.
Pavilions
and the
up.
Pavilion
Saw
up.
that.
Everything,
got
when they
this
start,
big-
when they start paving, it's gonna happen.
That's just, that's where we're getting close. That's good. We need a new sign. I hate that sign.
We talked about that.
What sign?
Wheatley Park sign. Whose idea was that to do graffiti for all of us?
It was paid for.
Paid for.
We got money for that.
Still ugly. We did a nice clean sign. I mean, cause King Park sign is like that too.
All of the park signs were like that. It was funded. Federal money.
Drew that.
That's how they want.
That's your department? You mop that up?
Real talk.
Close his eyes.
Somebody mopped that up. Somebody thought it was a good idea.
No, actually, that was, I think that was the competition. I didn't design them.
Oh, really? That election was rigged. Y'all got any questions? Y'all ready to go home? I got some country ribs cooking in the smoker.
Is that an invitation or?
There's only 5 of them. They thick though, but it's 5. Who part of the agenda are you on? We had shoot.
Public participation.
Yeah, yes, public participation. You got any public? Maya, you just sat here all day. You ain't got nothing to say. Yeah. Did they put a raise? They put a raise in the budget for you? They put a raise in the budget for you? Well, you need to have something to say then. The floor is yours.
No, I can answer that question.
Yeah, I do have one question to the treasurer. Are we gonna have, before we pass the budget, so everybody can see, the departments, remember I was at the first couple of sheets that we used to have?
Yes.
With all
So,
the
so for Monday, we'll have, and we're working to get this to you guys by Friday. We'll have the complete package of everything that we've covered here, along with so all the departments put together into one document, adding I know we need to add the department names, and then with the sheets of employees. Now, by department. Now, the question is, we show those one of two ways. We can show each department with each employee that's included in the budget. We don't show the cost breakdown for each employee.
We don't have to have, we don't have to have that.
Yeah.
We used to have all of that, didn't we? We used to have the dollar.
Take the fifth.
You
Yes.
Okay.
And so
We used to have all of that. We used to have the Not the names, we just used to know.
The position.
You have the names and the positions.
But
Breakdown.
yeah, but if you know, you can kind of, even if you don't put the name on there, you can kind of guess for a lot of the positions. Yeah, yeah. But one of the issues is we've oftentimes put a specific number for a specific position instead of like what's budgeted. And so sometimes people will see we may want to put some money in the budget, doesn't necessarily mean that that money's going to go to that individual. And that's where it kind of gets into a little bit of a tricky situation because we may include money in the budget that may not be granted.
We wasn't thinking that far here.
May not be granted July 1, and people will see, oh,
But wasn't nobody seeing it but us. It wasn't like everybody outside. It wasn't.
no, I mean, that would be the first thing employees would get that, and that's the first thing that they would go to.
It only came to council. It didn't go to million. It didn't go to anybody else. Now I don't know if somebody else showed it, but
Yeah,
it
they
went to
they would,
came to council. And also too,
huh?
we had
Yeah.
we had
But it's public information, so you can't.
well yes public, but we had that. And it was also in the book like the park and recs fees. Wasn't it? How much you charge for? I had to bring it up here.
Okay, but we'll have the budget, and we'll have the by department the number of each employee, each not their name but the position, if that's budgeted in there.
Thank you.
Anything else, Joe? Public participation, we have no public? Mayor and council communication? Anybody?
No.
I waive my rights. Any motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
Moving second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
$55.
That was a good meeting, that's for sure.
Whatever.
So happy you back, John. I'm gonna be looking for you.
I know. And I'm like, can I get that Home Depot card?